So, Kaylee's toxicity made me toxic, meaning I betrayed myself um, by remaining the people pleaser. I absorbed her toxic traits as my own because I was masking. I was trying to fit in. I've never fit in. I have never fit, not once in my whole life, not even in the nude modeling business, not even in the stripper business. I never fit in. I didn't know why. I had no idea. I just knew I didn't. I felt like an outsider in every friend group except for high school when I hung out with what they called the freaks, the kids that look like little goth kids that just the creepy kids. I fit in with them. They understood my craziness. I understood their craziness, and we just kind of clicked, literally. Um, and I hung out with them, and I felt so much personal peace from that by just simply laying it all out and not being ashamed of who I was. And that is, I think, the takeaway is I need to find my place where I don't feel ashamed of who I am. Um, I do feel ashamed of the things that I did while I was with Kaylee because I don't feel like they were me. I did not sign up for extramarital relations with people. That was never my want in life. I wanted to be with one person. I wanted to spend my life with that person, and I wanted to feel loved and accepted and appreciated and understood. But I did not receive that. You see, I learned something today on TikTok. While browsing between takes of filming this story, and I will post it here, but it was by ADHD Druids or ADH Druid. I will tag him. But he says something that kind of stuck with me that ADHD and the narcissistic personality we're so similar because when we are starting a relationship, we love bomb. I love bomb because I want to show my affection to my partner. Narcissists love bomb so that they can gather information to use against us later. And for a long time, Kaylee would always say that I was the narcissist. She kept trying to paint me as this villain. Fine, I'll be the villain. But don't come at me later when you're like, oh, why are you being so mean? That's what villains are. So yeah, that's a thing. So we were in Dallas. I met a guy named Lauren through Dusty and his, at the time, wife, Heather. A guy named Lauren. And yeah, we all were friends. Like there was this big huge friend group. I didn't feel like I fit in with any of them. I didn't feel like I got along with anybody really well. For Dusty it was just sex. Lauren it was just, I guess, someone to observe in a very narcissistic fashion because he would literally just observe the whole friend group. He himself had stated multiple times he didn't feel like he fit in. So I was like, okay, maybe this person also has the same issues I do. Nah. But then again, I also conversated with lots of people from the friend group, and they were all like, yeah, Lauren, he doesn't fit in with anybody, and he's not really easy to get along with, and he singles himself out. That is not my place. Lauren was never that close a friend to me, so I'm not gonna go into Lauren's problems. I don't even give a shit about Dusty's problems. Dusty had his own fucking problems. Um, Dusty got with a girl named Bailey. And I told Bailey straightforward, I was like, I am gonna text Dusty. I'm gonna be very honest with you. He and I have had a relationship. I don't want the relationship. I am passing the baton on to you. I am blessing you with everything that I am. Take him. Please take him. Um, and she was like, okay, that's weird. So I basically told him, I was like, I will not be with you ever again. I don't want to be with you. You're with Bailey now. Have fun with that. Enjoy her. I later on was told that he was abusive to Bailey by telling her how she was fat shaming her. Um, and the issues also kind of stemmed from his relationship with Heather. She also said that he had body shamed her. And I was like, that's fucked up. I'm not gonna lie, that's fucked up. Um, but yeah, I just I don't know. I have to take responsibility for the fact that I continued the relationships, I continued the actions, I continued the activities, even though I didn't want to be in a relationship or any of those things with Dusty. I continued them, and I have to take responsibility for those things. That's just a fact. But, you know, at the end of the day, I have to also look from the standpoint that he was giving me attention when Kaylee wasn't. She didn't want me anymore, and I refused to see it. So, you know, it didn't result in positive ending at all. It ended horribly. Kaylee and I had previously talked about if we had divorced, how it would go. Because divorce was an option at some point. It did come up. And I just couldn't live this lifestyle anymore where I was ignored. My boundaries were ignored. My wants were ignored. My needs were ignored. I was being ignored. And I was being pushed out of my own life, is what it felt like. Because every time Kaylee would get with someone, she would try to make sure that Arya had a mom. That person would become the new mom. And she would try desperately to push this person into my shoes and fill my space, like Sarah. The problem, you see, with that is no one can really fill my shoes. No one can really do my job. No one. They can try. But I know 100% within my heart that my life is pain. And no one wants that. No one wants the ongoing issue that I live. I sustained so many issues from the neglect and the abuse that just recently they diagnosed me with a slew of new issues. But I digress. I really sometimes wonder what would happen to the world that we live in if narcissism was illegal and the person who committed the crime was held accountable. It would be nice for justice.